Hi there, I'm David Hunt, owner of GameMasters Guild, and today I'm going to talk to you about another book that I got from Roll and Play Press. And they were nice enough to actually send me this book, which was the Game Masters Fantasy Tool Kit. So let's dive into our sponsored video today and see what this is all about. Okay, so here is Roll and Play Press's Game Masters Fantasy Tool Kit. Now, just like their fantasy character kit, this is chock full of random tables, all numbered with a particular die, like a D8, a D12, a D10, a D20. So that way, when you're flipping through, all you got to do is find a table, roll a D4, roll 2D12, roll a D8, roll a D20. That way you get the result that you need quickly. And exactly how you use this book? Well, quite frankly, any way you want to. You can go to the table you need, you roll the indicated die, or you choose a result. Why would you choose a result if you're supposed to roll? Well, that's the thing with a random table. You're not supposed to roll. It's supposed to, that random table is there to assist you, to aid you. So if it works out better just to pick something, then go for it. Because if you roll something random and you get something totally absurd for the situation, it's going to take away from the game. It's going to take away from the fun. And then whatever outcome you have, you apply it to your game. Super easy. It's listed right there. Now, this book is broken down to 5 different chapters: people and quests, world building, journeys and events, combat and injuries, items and rewards. And under each, look at all the different charts and tables. While I'm talking, you can already see all the different charts under people and quests, world building. Look, local attractions, food and rations, wonderful festivals, journey and events. Look at all these different encounters depending on the terrain you're at. And then it switches over to supernatural patrons, fiendish contracts, spooky specters, sweet dreams, ghastly nightmares, traps and hazards, dangerous doors, combat injuries. This is all kind of interesting stuff. Illnesses and ailments, revival side effects. And that's another thing I noticed. Some DMs have actually gone, and whenever you're resurrected, you come back from the dead, there's always something not quite right. And I think that's kind of important to have in a game where your fantasy characters are constantly coming back. It shouldn't be when you come back from the dead. It shouldn't be, oh, here I am, I'm ready to go. That's got to be a pretty traumatic event. I mean, dying and coming back. So that's going to be a pretty cool chart. And we'll take a look at that chart in just a second. Items and rewards. Look, magic items, armory, item flaws, misfires, potions, plant life, works of art, interior loot, treasure chest fillers, extra quest rewards. Let's kind of flip through this book and just see a couple of these random charts and take a look. Like people and quest, some of this stuff's pretty normal, like names, details, motives. Let's see here. And I like it again because each table is labeled, so you kind of get an idea of what these names are more appropriate for, like heartthrob, magical, common, outlaw names. But as always, you can mix and match. And remember, this isn't just for fantasy. You could actually cross some of this over for other systems. Let me look at this appearance. Mud splatters cover their scruffy shirt and trousers. They wear glasses with multiple zoomable lenses. Their nose has clearly been broken multiple times. Fits into any campaign. This is much more than just a guide for fantasy. There's a lot of fantasy references in here, but a lot of this can be used for any game. So if you're running fantasy, and then you move to sci-fi, then you move to steampunk, then you move to, I don't know, let's say you make your own Ghostbusters game. Again, all of this was tailored very well to just about any game. Let's see. Villainous origins, adventure motivations. Let's keep flipping here. Campaign ideas. And every DM needs these. Even if it's just something to bridge the gap from the end of one campaign to another campaign, or one adventure to another adventure. Like this. A stone sphere is floating in the sky. Its origin must be investigated with caution. The world is dying. The party must travel to its core and try to fix the issue. Giants have been collecting and storing villagers nearby. First contact needs to be made with a new race that has emerged from the ocean. A lot of really cool ideas. 20 different ideas. And quite frankly, you could easily run these as maybe 20 different one-shots. Some of these kind of big ideas, so you may want to do like 2-parters, but you could really run a game with just the ideas out of this book. Oh, and of course, while I flip back real quick, sorry about that. How does the party meet? That is another thing. Character connections is always kind of tricky. Some people can come up with it all the time. Other times, you just kind of stall. And even amongst me and my guys, we're really experienced and we do it all the time. We play these games all the time. We're always playing different versions of D&D. We're always playing games like Alien, superhero games like Heroes Unlimited, Robotech, you name it. And sometimes, no matter what, no matter how well everybody knows each other, no matter how often you've been playing, sometimes nobody knows how their characters meet. And like this, there's a traveling circus in town, the party go to the show and meet each other there. In a jail cell, they've all been taken captive, thrown in a lockup. After a great fire in their village, the group are the only survivors. Sure, it says village, like, well, Dave, village doesn't work for a modern day setting. Okay, after a great fire in their city, or in their neighborhood, or in their town. Well, there you go. You just fixed it. You went from fantasy to modern day like that. Again, campaign ideas, some great ideas here. World building. Characteristics, governments and leadership. Villagers all vote on solutions to problems. The majority always wins. Temple clergy have their absolute authority. Their decisions please their god. The spellcaster protects the town. They have done so for as long as the town has existed. Some cool ideas. Natural and man-made wonders. Magical locations. Hear ye, hear ye. So this is town crier news. Cure for a nasty plague has been discovered by scientists in the capital. A volcano somewhere has the continent... I'm sorry, I'm talking too fast here. A volcano somewhere on the continent has erupted for the 3rd time this year. Look at all this news. And then you could take and you could change all this. You could say that if a volcano has erupted for the 3rd time this year, maybe you don't want to do a volcano again. And you say, well, there's been an earthquake in the upper mountains for the 3rd time this year. It may have caused a landslide. At least these gives you ideas to go off of. Rumors and gossip, bounty posters. Look at that, 5 teeth, walks with a bronze cane, and is wanted for burning down an influential priest's house. Look how quickly you can just throw stuff together. Markets and shops, tells you what they're selling. Shop descriptions. Tavern Interiors, now that's a place. Players spend a lot of time at taverns, meet a lot of characters there, get to know the tavern owner. What a great section right here. Parlor games, festivals, and this journeys and events. And this is in on top of everything that's in the character guide, because the character guide has some of this stuff. And for some of the different classes, and this is really cool. And let's see, so we've got all the different encounters from frozen to forest, all the environments right here. Let's see, swamp. What do we have in swamp? Let's take a look. Puddles of tar line the path ahead. The party must attempt to avoid them or become submerged and stuck. Maybe in the mountains, high up in the mountains, the party meet an astrologer who is eagerly mapping out the stars and constellations. That sounds like, dang, I can't think of that one show. It was just in my head and it slipped away. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's okay. I'm sure I'll think of it. And then magical encounters, corrupted encounters. Let's see what kind of magical encounters we could have. Party hears a cry for help coming from a sword. The weapon has absorbed its owner during a failed spell. A hooded skeletal wizard stalks the party. He will eventually strike and try to use them in his dark experiment. Sounds like a lich to me. How about a corrupted encounter? Like gravity seems to work differently in the area ahead. Rocks and trees, tree trunks and stone ruins all float in the air. Let's kind of flip through some of this. Spooky specters, phantoms and spirits. What else? Ghastly nightmares, sweet dreams, combat and injuries. Man, there is just a bunch of stuff in here. Moderately magical things like a golden coin that somehow always finds its way back to its owner, or a small wooden sphere that tastes like delicious caramel ice cream. How weird. Major faults, drawbacks. There are some really, really cool stuff in here. Loot and plunder. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Oh, looting the body, man. Ornate hourglass crafted in gold. The sand within it is bright green. Leather sack contains 1 days of plain rations. Really, really cool stuff in this book. And again, short, sweet, and right to the point. What a really, really good book this is, I tell you. It's definitely going to make your NPCs and your players more interesting. It's going to help players up their game. And it's definitely going to help you as Dungeon Master or Game Master for any game really add that extra element of detail to whatever you got going on. And you think, well, Dave, I don't know if this would go for a horror game. I don't know. There's a lot of results in here that would work just fine for even the darkest Call of Cthulhu campaigns. You just have to pick and choose what's going to suit you the best. And because they're not very fantasy specific, you can really use this in any way you want. And honestly, that's about it. Again, nice and durable. It's got that strong metal spiral binding to it, and it's nice and durable. You can toss around a table, and again, nice and small, easy to fit behind the DM screen. Well, if you get a chance, you need to check this book out. Thanks for watching. Okay, so that's my look at Roll and Play Press's Game Master Fantasy Tool Kit. I gotta tell you, it's a smaller book than the character kit. However, I think it's chock full of great information, and the price is right. This is overseas. It's about 14 pounds, which is probably right around $18.50 our price. Again, it's a good size for the money. It's durable, just like the other book, and when you pair the two together, indispensable for any game master or dungeon master out there for just about any game. And even you could even make this stretch for outside of a fantasy game. So really good stuff. Run down to your FLGS and see if they've got a copy for you to check it out. See if they'll order some for you. And if not, you can get them direct from Roll and Play Press. Go ahead and check the description. And as always, I'm David Hunt, owner of Game Masters Guild, telling you to stay safe, play great games, and I'll see you real soon.